opportunity to offer the best learning, making the biggest difference of the child education can be done only through the person standing at the front of the classroom. It's our teachers. What we need to offer and to make such change to improve quality of teaching and learning. I come up with a few recommendations, which I saw those through my out career, more than 35 years, and working with a number of organizations and community, and serve as associate professor, and having published number of quality books and journals. First, the government and education sector must work with everyone, recognize the key to improving the quality of teaching and learning is right here in the classroom at the school, is not from the offices. We need to listen to the student and teacher, not only from the supervisor and principal. Second, school must work to target the communities, parents, and private sector to build internship which link education in the real life. Third, every school teacher is going to get the best training and support they need to thrive in this profession, whether they are just graduated or whether they have years of experiences behind them. Fourth, create the development opportunities and career pathways that will make teaching more than a match for other highly regarded professions. Fifth, we give teachers freedom to create classroom for learning that encourage curiosity, creativity, and diversity for opinion and representations. We create space for all students to express the inner and performance, the present alternative learning. Sixth, the future time push us to think about reformulating learning method by knowing not only to prepare the citizen for the job, but to be the global citizenship. We need to arrange the education process to promote innovation and think about solution and not some to feeling of anxiety due to circumstances such as the world faced with the corona pandemic. Finally, to be able to face the crisis such as the corona pandemic, we must think about how to reformulate decisions in order to be ready for the future that we don't know. Therefore, we must be prepared to deal reality and event. School education is not, I always say it is not a system for feeding information, but rather interactive methods and methods that make the learner think, analyze, and make knowledge in the real life. Finally, before I ending my keynote speech, I would like to thank all teachers around the world. I urge you to continue inspiring many of us with your calm, realist, and optimistic leadership in the face of diversity, keeping directing students to accomplish their goals. Help make them learning more attractive and positively emotional experience so that students could transfer their knowledge to their daily life. Education is the life. This is, I'm saying it always, repeat, but could be challenging to apply. Thank you. And I hope all the colleagues in this conference have a fulfill and enrichment reaction and reaching your goal of the conference. Thank you.
Gura, welcome, Salwa.
Thank you, Professor Saleh. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you very much for your speech and talking about Kuwait education system and different levels.
Yes.
I wonder, from outside, economically, Kuwait seems a powerful country. Why you have too many educational problems? Because economy goes with quality education. if economy is down, quality of education is also down. There is this type of problems. So what is the main problems that you are not able to using your economic power for educational quality?
Unfortunately, this is a high demand for us as experts in education. Yes, as you said, Professor Saleh, we are a rich country. As you know, we depend on the oil production.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, today, the Minister of Education is the third Minister of Education have the highest budget, which serve, as I said, 650,000 students in the public school. Still, people, they are not satisfied with the outcomes of the education. If you asking me this question, I found the last 10 years, let's see, the criteria of admission in the school of education should be re-evaluated. And from my point of view, I just present a proposal, which I presented also before, like 10 years ago, because we have a high demand from the student having the GPA and can attend the school of education, and we have a high number. School of education, we have 13 colleges in the Kuwait University. School of education coming in the total number of the student, the third one. So when the student graduated from high school and having all the criteria admission that allowed them to go to the school of education. This is number one. Number two, the highest number coming to the school of education is from female. We have 80% from student as a female, and we have 20% male. So the female, most of them coming from the district, whereas the family, they still have a social issue that the education, I mean, the job like teaching, is a good job for the female. So still they have like, so in this case, one of my research, I do like a follow-up study. I asked them like open question, why are you coming to school of education? Do you like to be a teacher? More than 57%, they don't want to be a teacher. But this is, they are oriented by the families. So in this case, when I also have follow-up other research to see what is the attitude from student teacher in the school of education toward teaching, I found they are not satisfied, they are not happy, they are not, I mean, having emotion to be a teacher. So in this case, when I found them, the quality of my student teacher and student in teaching classes, when they, because I apply like a macro teaching, so I want to be prepare them for the field. So unfortunately, I'm saying this, but this is the reality. We have to face it. More than.
Can I ask second question?
Good.
Do you have ID schools and private schools supported by foreign countries, or do you have schools which established by, for example, German, English, or Canadian countries?
No, we don't have. Unfortunately, most of the private school is published by Kuwaiti owner, and they brought the curriculum and some teachers like from England by like annual contract, and the rest of the teachers they took it from local market. But we don't have like let's say like a branch of global school from Germany, from USA, from Emirat, Dubai they have, yes. Saudi Arabia they have, Qatar they have, but us no. This is, I agree with you. Maybe we can share some experiences like exchange experiences and what you say, like effort that can be used to have a good outcomes of the education. But hopefully coming that this is what I believe in it, Professor Saleh, to work with the quality of public education, for coming years, especially with the coronavirus, all the economic now down, even our country.
Yeah.
Now more than 30,000 Kuwaiti employee in their own private business or in the private company, they just cut out and they don't have a job now. So in this case, we have to reconsider that, involve the private sector. How can share this with the government to expand the investment in the education? At the same time, according to our constitution, which published in 1962, still the government responsible to provide health and education free for all citizens. But we have to reconsider this in the coming future, because we have increasing number of the students. And unfortunately, this is another problem, because our population is 4,200,000. Kuwaiti only 1,200,000, and the rest of it's non-Kuwaiti. So we have to reconsider this about do we continue in this policy? At the same time, non-Kuwaiti, they don't study in our public school, except the children of doctors working in the Ministry of Health, and the children of lawyer or the judge, and the children of the faculty member teaching in the public community colleges or university. That's it. The rest of non-Kuwaiti population, they put their student in the private public school. As I said before, it's like 2-track. English private school, having like curriculum, British, American, French, or public school, which is more cheaper than the private.
Thank you very
English,
much.
American.
I hope you have other questions from different participants.
I hope.
Değerli hocam, ben de bir soru eklemek istiyorum.
Tabii, buyurun.
Dear Al-Jassar. Hi.
Yes. Hi, how are you?
Thank you. How are you?
Fine, how are you? Can you introduce yourself?
I wonder, you mentioned the concept of entrepreneurship. What exactly are done or given for entrepreneurship education in your country, in basic education level?
I mean, if we're talking about the public school, yes, I understand. We speaking about different issue and internship, about the curriculum, the content, and about the training of the teachers. Our education system, it's like having a shift from different type of curriculum. This is also another problem for us, because we don't have like a settled procedure, strategy that making or offering a curriculum that meet what is going in the global world. With like ecosystem, with recycling, with emphasize in mathematics and science. As my evaluation seems to be, restructuring again. Because if you speak about the kind of a student, as educator, the student coming in the public school before 10 years ago, it's not like the school now, with the mass communication, with the internet around the world. We have to reconsider. Unfortunately, still, in most of the public school, they still demand, and I say it like the tradition way in learning, textbook and blackboard. Maybe we introduce the electronic blackboard, what do you call it, like internet in some of the public school. But still, also we have, on the other hand, how can we rehabilitate the parents? Because parents also need to be, trained. We need to be orient them that now in e-learning with the coronavirus, we have such a terrible, because we stopped education, stopped school for 6 months.
Yeah.
So we let all teachers and students, even our university, we back again to school, university, mid of August, and our public school back on e-learning, maybe 1st of October. So if you ask me, we need more time to reconsider how can we, to do more effort in this issue.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Please, if you have any question about Kuwait education system, teacher training. I am asking one more question.
Yes, please.
I actually wonder how many faculty of education you have in your country, and what is the acceptance to become a teacher candidate in these faculties?
You mean how many faculty in my school? School education.
School of education, yeah, in your country.
Yeah. In my country, we have like 2 school of education prepare teachers. One, it's in Kuwait University, which I'm working in it. We have the total number, it's 180 faculty. 95% is all of them Kuwaiti. Only maybe 5 to 3% non-Kuwaiti. We have other school of education. It's called the public.
What is the acceptance? Criteria to accept as a teacher candidate.
Okay, you mean the student teacher?
Yeah, student teacher. Yeah.
Yeah. Our program, we offer 6 programs in school of education. We prepare teachers for kindergarten, only female. We don't have male teach in the kindergarten. And they have to study 4 years with the total number, it's 125 credit. It's divided for 4 years. 125, it's divided by 6 sections. We have like compulsory courses. It's like Arabic and English and Kuwait history. And we have elective, which is a combination from like culture, citizenship, etc. And we have compulsory courses, it's 55 credit. And then we have a professional courses, which like teaching method, field experiences, micro teaching, classroom management, etc. So the total number credits for all the 6 programs is 125. So we have to prepare teachers for kindergarten. This is one program. And we have for elementary program, we have 6 specialization, like mathematics teacher, science teacher, social studies, Islamic, Arabic, and English language. And same also, we have one program for secondary and middle school. No voice. I can't hear you, Professor. Yes.
Do we, as a teacher educators from Turkey, have possibility to get job from your country as a teacher educators?
Why not? But you have, it depends for which field you're gonna go. If you wanna go, because we have like in the school of science and the school of public.
Majority of us got their PhD from abroad, from England, from the other countries.
Yeah, why not?
International certification.
Yeah, I know, because now most of the faculty in around the world, they speak English. That's why, even if you're not study abroad, but still you need to make your paper in English. That's why. So you have to read so many English. No, I think you are welcome. If we have an advertisement, I will let you know and pass it to you or your colleague if you are interested.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, why not? I will let you know, by the way.
Now you are our very good friend. You became our very good friend.
Only with this, no. And anyway, if you need anything, even in Kuwait or in the GC region, we can share any information you want. If you have any colleague, just ask about anything about job. But that, by the way, I think we need in the coming future, because as I heard some of the faculty, they just, step out. So I think we need, especially in the School of Science, School of Public Health, School of Medicine, a School of, what do you call it, like public life skills, because they have Department of Nutrition, Speech Pathology, and they have number of non-Kuwaiti, because they are those new faculty, they just established 2-3 years. So we don't have Kuwaiti faculty specialized in these specification, because we're still, establishing a new faculty. Why not?
Thank you very much for your speech, for you accept.
Thank you so much.
I think,
sorry, so much.
Sorry, I think there is a final question from Abdulwahab Al-Sahat.
Yes, hi, hello.
Yes, hi, hello.
I have some question. How we can inform education in Kuwait and Prof?
Oh, okay. Can I answer for the question, Dr. Saleh? Okay. Thank you. Yes, thank you so much. This is a big question. This is need a conference. How can we reformulate education? I wanna answer the question just not only for Kuwait, for all countries running behind about the global criteria and good education. From my point of view, we need to concentrate about the quality of teacher preparation program. This is so important to push this, because my belief, if you are looking, not me, I mean also you as educator, if we are looking to have a satisfied outcomes from education system and let parents satisfy with the education of their children, we have to concentrate about the teacher preparation program. So we have to reconstruct the School of Education, to reorganize all the programs, because now we have like smart education coming, we have like e-learning coming, we have distant learning coming, which I found from this short experience, the majority of the teachers, not in Kuwait, around the world, they have difficult how can reorganize the classes through online, to manage the student, to be watch with the class, to be follow the teachers. I think we need even Dr. Saleh, this is one of the most important recommendation. You have to put it in your outcomes in your conference. We have to restructure the education system that prepare us like what we face in coronavirus, especially for e-learning, distant learning, smart learning. How can we, switch from tradition education to e-learning education? How can we manage both of them in the classroom or out of the classroom? This is my answer of the question. But as I said, it's a need a long time to answer this question. And thank you for this question.
Thank you so much, Dr. Al-Jassar. Now
thank you, Dr. Salwa, for the answer.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Now we are continuing with Dr. Pedro Tadeu. Dr. Pedro, are you here?
Yes. Hello. Günaydin. Günaydin, dear friends. Günaydin to everyone. Günaydin. I'm saying günaydin because I'm in Portugal, and right now it's 10 o'clock here in Portugal. So for me, it's günaydin.
Yes.
For the remaining people, I don't know. But for instance, for Dr. Al-Jassar, it's good afternoon, I suppose, in Kuwait.
Yes. Yeah.
I suppose. So hello, dear friends. Good morning to all of you.
Good morning.
It's a huge pleasure to be here with all these good people on this great conference. Unfortunately, and due to pandemic situation, it's not together. It's live situation, online situation. But let's see if the next year, maybe, or the years to come, we're going to have it together, because the socialization is so important to the human being. And that's something that Dr. Al-Jassar was talking about also. So this is a little bit of introduction, okay? So I'm going to share my presentation now, okay? So let me change here. Okay, just hold on a second. And now I think it's done. Okay, so I think that all the people is able to have it.
Yes.
Here, right? Everyone see, I suppose. Bugra, yes? Evet, evet. Okay, so let's change a little bit the theme that I have in the website, because I was talking to Dr. Professor Salip, and it was possible due to this pandemic situation and all these troubles that we are getting to humankind. I was changing a little bit my presentation, and my presentation, the title is Discovering New Trends in Education with ICT. My name is Pedro Tadeu. I'm a head of Center of Studies in Education and Innovation in Portugal in a Polytechnical Institute of Guarda. Well, I will talk a little bit about the situation that suddenly we get into, and it's important to discover the new trends and the new possibilities that we have with the ICT. So let me. First of all, I would like you to get your, I don't know, laptop, cellular phone, whatever the device that you have on your hands, and connect to this website here, poolev.com/PedroTadeu369. And please, what is the first word that comes to your mind when you talk about education in the future? What is the word that comes to your mind? What is the things that get you into your mind? So please try to connect and put a word, the first one that comes to your mind. I will wait a little bit so I can give you some time. And then there will start to appear some words here. So what is the first word that comes to your mind when you talk about education in the future?
Technology.
That's the first one. Please, Dr. Al-Jassar, please use your phone or your mobile phone or your computer to connect to the website here. You need to connect to this poolev.com/PedroTadeu369. Okay, the first thing that we'll ask you is to put the name of the person, and then later you need to put the word or the words if you want to put more than one. And then they will start to appear here. And it will be interesting to have the ideas of the people that are in this conference. So we have technology. The people are shy in the morning, but you are not in the morning. I'm in the morning. You already are in the afternoon in Turkey. Don't be shy, please. Okay, problem solving.
Flexibility.
Yes, Shule Bayraktar, please write it.
Oh, I'll try.
Because we are constructing here a word cloud, as you can see. Problems, technology, solving positions, solving problems, technology, distance. Yes, it's interesting. But please don't be shy, you can put more. E-labs, interesting. The e-learning, the so-called e-learning that right now everyone talks about the e-learning.
Science process skills.
Yes, please, please, Professor Salih, please write it. It will be interesting to have it.
Yeah.
So animations, learning, solving technology. I think that the most of it's problem solving and the technology. The creativity.
Building.
Yes, creativity. Interesting, very interesting. The creativity also. Yeah. Problem solving, creativity, learning, technology, constructivity. Yes. You see, we are having this connection. All the people here are connected somehow with these cloud problems that we have here. intelligence, distance learning, artificial intelligence. Well, that word over there, uncertain, it's very interesting because right now we have an uncertainty on our lives, unfortunately, due to the pandemic situation. Flexibility, it's very interesting, that one, flexibility. The internet, the cloud, of course. Okay, very interesting. Yeah, now we are talking about, now the cloud is moving, the cloud is transforming. Okay, so when we stick here, and now we can proceed a little bit for the next slide, we have problem solving, we have technology, we have the e-learning, we have the e-labs, internet, social, flexibility, the reasonable, the learning, the creativity, the constructive, the literacy, also very interesting, that one. Okay, so thank you for helping me on this part. So let's continue. By the way, this, I don't know if the people know this, the pool everywhere. I don't know if you know it already, but it's a very good way to interact with the audience and with the students. I use it a lot in my classes, the pool everywhere. This is one of the possibilities to use pool everywhere, to construct together a word cloud. So this is one of the possibilities. There are more. Okay, so the people are still engaging on the process of putting more words. Interesting, very interesting. Okay, I will proceed to the next slide. So the future and in the education, right now we need to look in a different way that we are looking on the previous 20 years, maybe, or 30 years, or 50 years, or the last century. Because when we look at the future and in education, we need to look some of these words, they are here on this kind of a tree. We need to take a look for the digital, the one that is in the middle. The digital is something that will stay along the next years, the next future. We will have to have the digital for sure. The entrepreneurship, something that is very important, the critical thinking, the problem solving skills, the idea of don't have the problem to make some errors, come back again and do it again in a different way, to change the things they are doing right now. The personal, social, and learning to learn, it's very important. The entrepreneurship, the citizenship, the cultural awareness and expression, the multilingual, that's something that we need to have always in our mind. That's because of the multilingual that we are here also, because everyone was talking in English, otherwise we don't understand each other. And of course, the literacy and the so famous STEAM, the science, technology, engineering with mathematics. So this is something that the future of education need to pay attention to, this kind of big issues, this kind of the importance of these branches of this tree. I will advise, we don't have time, but I will advise, because this will be recorded, to the people to pay attention to these short videos, especially these three ones, the OECD Future of Education and Skills for 2030. The Goldman Sachs view on education. This is a private company, and it's interesting to see how they see education in the future. And this one, 5 technologies that will change education on the near future. What will the education will use? So, because of the technology, that's something that you point out on the first slide on the word cloud. The technology is something that is here to stay in education, and education needs to take advantage of this technology. And the World Economic Forum 3 years ago had talked about 7 important things, because it's important to go back to see how the things were predicted in the past and try to see in the future what we will have. And the World Economic Forum has predicted 7 important key features in technology. And let's see what they had predicted 3 years ago. The first one is the robots. They say that, well, in recent years, the robots already disrupted the blue-collar industries. They take the jobs of the employees, most of the employees on the companies. But soon robots will get also the so-called white collars. And they predicted in 2017 that 2021, they could appear the first robots pharmacists. It's incredible. They were predicting that even in 2017. And it will happen.
Konuşmacımız konuşuyor matematikten.
Cars. The electric cars will have autopilot and will become more sharper and easy to handle. That's the truth, yes. When you're talking about 2017, we don't have the impact of Tesla, for instance, and all these automated cars. But they were predicting that in 2021, we will have automated cars delivering groceries and other type of supplies. And that's true. We have this kind of experience in London right now. We have automated cars delivering the kinds of supplies in the middle of the city, and other stuff and other kind of things. So it's incredible the way that we are getting with this. And now let me check your faces, because your faces are in the middle of my screen and I'm not able to see the right side. Sensors. The Internet of Things will expand and will going from the normal pavements, roads, reaching to the clothes and the things that we wear. For instance, everyone knows what is this. This is a normal clock, a watch. And this watch, it's one of the interesting things that IoT, the Internet of Things, has bring us. This is sensors that are connected to the cloud and are taking my vital sensors every day, every hour, and giving this kind of information to the cloud and to my account. In the end of the day, I have a resume of what was happening with my body during the day. So the Internet of Things is connecting us to the internet. And they were predicting that by 2022, we'll have more than 1 trillion of sensors that could be connected. So it's watches, it's shoes, it's the clothes, everywhere it's connected, everyone is connected to the cloud. Phones, oh, what we could say about phones. The chips will decrease in size and grow even more in processing power. That's true. If we remember 20 years ago, how was a cellular phone, and looking at the cellular phones right now, it's incredible the speed and the growth of the power of the phones. But they are predicting, and 80% of the people in 2017 were predicting that by 2024, we'll have implants of phones in our body and we can connect it through directly by brainwaves. And you look at this, we start thinking, oh my God, I will have my phone in my wrist inside of my body, but they are predicting this kind of thing. So we need to see, maybe this could happen, really. Kinds of medicine. The medicine, well, right now they are using 3D printing to produce some kind of organ transplant. They are predicting that in 2024, we will already have these kind of things. But we don't need to get 2024. Right now in 2020, you already have these kind of things. Internet, they're predicting that the internet becomes a basic right in 2024. I don't believe this, truly. I don't believe that it will be a basic right, because it's impossible for a lot of people in the world to have access to internet. The artificial intelligence. The artificial intelligence will start to learn from the previous mistakes. It's a kind of mathematical way of doing the things. It's a kind of problem solving things. We need to do the things, check the things. If it's not good, go back and learn from your previous errors. And they are predicting that artificial intelligence will be able to learn from the previous mistakes. And after that, they will be able to decide automating complex tasks from the using of the big data. Experts say that by 2026, the artificial intelligence machines will join corporate boards of directors in company to help them to take decisions based on the complex and the big data that they will get it. I don't know if it will be true, but it will be interesting to check later on. So when we look at all of this, we know for sure that we are living in a new age society, that we live in an incredible technological age. It's an incredible days that we are going through. The functional and critical thinking skills, such as the information literacy, the media literacy, and information communication and technology literacy are even more important and needed even more. And I stress here the word literacy, because the word literacy, to know and to know how to use this, it's very, very important, not only with the ICT, but all over kind of subjects, going from the mathematics, going from the engineering, going from medicine, etc. We need to know how to use information. So the functional and critical thinking skills that I told previously, it's split in three: the information literacy, the media literacy, the information communication, and technology literacy. When you look to the information literacy, we know that there's a need for information, that we are able to identify, locate, and evaluate effectively the use of that information when we have a problem that we want to solve. When you talk about the media literacy, it's the ability to access, to analyze, to create, and act using all forms of communication to our disposal. And later, when you go through the ICT literacy, it's the ability to use technology as a tool to research, to organize, to evaluate, and communicate information, and the possession of a fundamental understanding of the ethical and the legal issues surrounding the access and use of information. And when you look at these descriptions here, we see that this one is from 2003, this one is from 2010, and this one is from 2012. It's a long time ago. We are in 2020, but still, these kind of descriptions, we still need this. And even more, we'll need this, because we need to use all the information that we have at our disposal, but we need to use it effectively. We need to know how to organize information. We need to know how to evaluate. We need to know how to communicate. Because we live in a world that the ICT surrounds everywhere. In every step that we are giving, we have the ICT together with us. So we need to use it carefully. We need to know the literacy that is around of the ICT. When you talk about education and society, well, times change, and Professor Al-Jassar was talking about that. I just get the end of unfortunately, the end of your communication, because I'm in classes. I was giving classes until 10 o'clock. I get out from the classes, come to my house, and now I will come back to the classes after I give this speech. So this is one of the interesting things of technology nowadays, that we are able to be in a conference with Turkish people and people around the world, and in the middle of classes. It was not like that. If it was not about the ICT, it would be impossible to do this kind of things. So I was talking 12th of March of this year, the things changed suddenly in Portugal and all around the world. But 12th of March, it was an important date in Portugal, because we shut down everything. The campus and schools were completely closed after the 12th of March. The government decided, because of the coronavirus, to close everything. And we were confined at home during 3 months. We were in March, April, May, until June. And there are no more presential classes. All the classes going and turn to online. And we need to reflect on the changes that we have imposed to us during this period of confinement. And most of the reflections were that higher education institutions and education overall was not well prepared to this. So suddenly they put the fingers and say, no, let's go online right now. And we are not prepared. The world was not prepared for that immediately. So after this period and after all of these months of discussion in Portugal, we decided to check and we see, okay, we need more investments on IT. We need to change the programs of our subjects. We need to change the curriculum that we have. We need to change the campus and the infrastructures that we have right now. And most important, even, we need to support the teachers. The teachers need to be supported on this huge step, because it was from the Thursday 11 to the Friday 12 in March that they told us, starting tomorrow, we're going to be online. Everything will be online. And the people start crazy. What are we going to do? Suddenly, I have a presential class, and now I'm going to move directly to online. It was an incredible burden to put in your shoulders in one day to the other. It was incredible. So I was talking in the previous slide about education and about the things that will happen in education. And by curiosity, you see this one on the right side. Last Monday, I was in a webinar in Portugal where we are discussing the future of higher education in Portugal. It was last Monday, and during that webinar, we have some interesting keynote speakers. We have the president of Georgia University in the United States. We have the director of Nova Business School of Economics in Portugal, in Lisbon. We have the director of Deloitte Technology in Canada, and a representative of Deloitte Education in Portugal. And in the end of that webinar, we have the presence of our Ministry of Science, Higher Education and Technology in Portugal. And in the end of the webinar, and after the discussions that we have during that webinar, everyone agrees that the future of education here in Portugal, probably, and in the other places, it will be a be-learning, it will be a blended learning. It will be a little bit impossible to go directly and everything to be online because there are several subjects. I was talking, for instance, in arts, music, physical education, that kind of specialities, it's impossible to have it online, of course. So the be-learning model will be something that will come for sure, and we need to use it conveniently. But to use the be-learning model, we need to pay attention to what kind of ICTs that we're going to use during the online period of time. So we need to pay attention to the society, on what we have in the society. Well, we have the Web 2.0 right now, and we are changing from the Web 2.0 to the Web 3.0. And that the Web 2.0 changed the way that we have communicated last years, have changed the way that we are having things in the society, have changed the way that we are learning, the way that we are teaching, and of course, in the end, the way that we worked together with the others. So when we start looking at the changes of the web, when we start with Web 1.0 and going to the Web 2.0 and the Web 3.0 that's going to live right now, we see the number of users at the beginning of the process and the number of users that we have now. And the general content that we already have now. It's impressive the way that we are having feedback with our students, with the people on the web. So the Web 3.0 will change even more the way that we live and interact with the others. Education should apply these changes. Education should integrate the Web 3.0 on the process. So based on that, what kind of tools that we're going to use? And well, I will give some ideas of the tools that I'm using right now in my classes. And based on the list of the top 100 tools for education, that's a list that every year is compiled by the Center for Learning and Performance Technology. And I was getting access to the list of 1 September 2020, so it's a fresh list. We have lots of different tools, and we can split in 4 different contents: the instructional tools, the content development tools, the social schools, and the personal tools. Inside of these ones, we can have different types of softwares and programs that you can use inside of our classes. For instance, instructional tools, we have the course authoring tools like Camtasia, Articulate, and Easy Generator, the learning management systems and learning platforms like the Moodle, like the Canvas, Google Classroom, Teams, Microsoft. For instance, during the period that we are closed, the public institutions and private in Portugal, we use a lot of the Google Classroom and the Teams, Microsoft with our students with education. We use the Blackboard platform, we use the Moodle platform, and we are still continue to use these kind of platforms to have feedback and to construct the knowledge with the students. The portfolio platforms like the Mahara and the Pathbright, the webinar tools that we are also using during the coronavirus confinement, the Cisco WebEx, the Zoom that we are precisely, we are using now Zoom. We use the Jitsi, we use the Adobe Connect and GoToMeeting, classroom and audience responding tools. We use it in the beginning of my presentation, we use it Pool Everywhere. And this is a very interesting tool that you can use inside of our classes. But I use more than that. I use Kahoot and I use Plickers. And it will be interesting, probably some of you already know Kahoot, but I will explain a little bit what is about Kahoot. It's a tool that can be easily used at various levels of education. I use it at higher education, but it can be used in primary and secondary. I can call that the secret of using this tool, it's the complexity of the questions that you can make, and you can do it for the students. But the principle, the first point here is the creativity that the author can use on the design process of the questions. It can be used as a review process of consolidation in the classroom. The game, because this is all about the gamification, also about education, takes place in real time, and the players, the so-called students, participated in it from the start until the beginning. From the computer of the teacher, you can project questions and the answers can be from 2 to 4. Students can have access to the address through a computer, through a mobile phone, through a tablet, wherever, and it can have, don't need to have a registration on this. When the question is projected, there will appear 4 colors and shape buttons that you can use it to answer directly to the questions that the teachers are putting. The score is calculating according to the process, according to the speed of the answers that you are giving, the correct or incorrect. At the end of the activity, the teacher, and this is the point, I find out that this aspect of Kahoot, that in the end of the activity, you can have access to an Excel file with all the information that you are having while the students are playing, while the students are connecting with Kahoot. And this activity can get you access to this important message. What's the time that your student having to answer? What's the time that you have to give a positive and a good answer? And all the details of the questions that you are doing. This is very interesting. I have a short video here. I don't know, let me go here. Okay. I'm going to share now. Let me interrupt here and I will share it. This one. My question, are you listening to the sound of the video? Are you able? Please, I need some feedback.
No, we can't hear. No.
Okay. Let me share now, and later you'll tell me if you can listen. Now.
No.
No,
again.
No.
Okay. Speakers. Okay. Because it was not me that was running the Zoom, so maybe the people that was able to put the Zoom are not. Let me put the legend, at least subtitles. Okay, let's go back. So this is, do you listen to me?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So this is a possibility of one of ICT tools that I use in my classes, and I use it with a lot of interest by the students. Someone is talking here. Okay. Okay, thank you, Zainab. Zainab was giving me something here. Yeah, I will try to see that, Zainab, but since it was not me that was starting the Zoom, that possibility need to be in the beginning. I will try. Zainab was giving me some feedback here on the chat, so I will proceed. Okay. So another one that I use in my classes is Plickers. Plickers, it's a very interesting way to deal with the students. This software can be used as an assessment tool. And for that, you don't need to use any computers. The students don't need to have any tool, any ICT tool, don't need to have a computer or a cell phone. Only you, the teacher, can use this. Need to use a cell phone. Through papers, and here you have 4 examples. This is papers that you can print for your students. Each student have a different paper of this. You can have inside of your class. And each one of them have 4 possibilities to show and to give the answer. So this kind of system through a paper can be read with a tablet or smartphone. Students doesn't need to have any digital document. Each student has 4 possibilities to answer, A, B, C, and D. The teacher makes a question and the students show the paper. Then the teacher with the smartphone just go from the right to the left or the left of the right of the classroom and automatically have the answers of the students. At the same time, answers can be projected, and on our device, we visualize the answers of each student. And in the projector that the student is able to see, you see only who has already responded, but we don't see the answer that each of the students gave. So you know the answer of your students. The students then doesn't know the answer of the colleagues. The application works very fast, and scanning, it's done in a distance, not being necessary to get in front of the student. So when you go from the top of the class, you go and you get connected and you have all the answers from the students inside your mobile phone. Of course, you need to put in a vertical way, and it will be interesting to use that in a class with 40, 50 students. You can use it. The web application includes the creation and editing of a number that we want from the classes, thus making the assignment to classes to students' names. So you know exactly what's this card and what's the student have that card. I will put another short example of this. Short examples. So let me put again. Okay. Thank you, Zainab. Right now, I was not looking at the. Now you have sound. Thanks to Zainab.
Yes, yes.
Next, we may want to write this one on your
Example.
whiteboard.
The teacher was making
6
a
plus
question.
8 divided by 4 equals.
Primary school.
Write it on
You
your
can use
whiteboard.
whatever you
Remember,
want.
we
I
use
use it in higher
PEMDAS.
education.
Parentheses, multiplication,
see,
division, adding, subtracting.
Trying to get the answer of the question,
Think, think.
and they will, after they will have it. You see the card here. You see the card. The student has a different card, and then when they know the answer, they put the card, and the teacher with the mobile phone starts
Here
from
I go.
one side to the other and gets the answers of the students. So it's very, very easy to use this. Students have here, as you can see, have the answers of the students and immediately gives the answers and the positive and the negative answers of the students. So it's very easy. It's very easy to use Plickers. And you have feedback, automatic feedback from the class. Continue, another one. So I use a lot Plickers and Kahoot in my classes. So continue with the different tools. Educational tools like Quizlet, Turnitin, and Grammarly. Grammarly is a lot inside of our computers, each one of us for sure. When you want to write in English, you don't want to have some kind of errors, mistakes, you can use Grammarly to help you correct that, for instance. Content development tools. When you look to the right side, you have all of these logos, and most of the logos you already know for sure. And we can split this into 5 different categories here. The documentation tools like Google Docs and Pixton, the Canva, Prezi that most of the people use. It's a lot of work to do a good Prezi, but in the end, when you have a great presentation, it can get you the people in the audience on that. SlideShare, Animate explainers like the Animaker, and the Python and Go Animate. I use a lot of these in my classes with my students. I'm a teacher of mathematics, by the way, because I forgot to tell that in the beginning. I'm a teacher of mathematics education, and I teach future preschool teachers, primary school teachers, especially here in Portugal. So I use a lot of these tools with my future teachers, because my aim is that later on, when they go to schools, they use it with their own students. They will connect the students with this kind of tools. But of course, so if for them to use these tools, they need to learn the tools. And usually when we go for ICT classes, we don't use a lot of these tools. We're talking about the Word, the Excel, the PowerPoint. And right now, the world needs more than the Microsoft Office tools, need more tools than that. And I think these tools that I teach them, it's much more important, much more interesting. This one, ThinkLink. ThinkLink, I use it because I have a 360 degrees camera. I bought it for myself, and I use it in my classes.
Dr. Tadeu, sorry for the interruption. Really, I am sorry, but we are a little bit out of time. So.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Already 30 minutes. You need to have 1 hour. Oh my God.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay. I will move further. I will move further to the end. Okay. So don't worry. Okay. ThinkLink. It's a very interesting platform. I was having an example here. Okay. Content development tools, lots of different tools. Maybe we can have a webinar with students and with other teachers, and we can have work on these tools later on.
Yes, of course, we can arrange that webinar. Thank you so much.
Okay, so in the end, I'm just going to finish this one, the Padlet, just to stop. It's very, very, very interesting Padlet. I'm going to interrupt. I'm going to share the Padlet in a brief way. Are you able to see the map? Yes?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so I'm going to give you this. Okay, link, and now close. And I'm going to share this. Okay, everyone. You see, I send a link, and I would like, if possible, to each one of you enter on that link and write something, because you can come here on the right corner. You see on the right corner, we have this. Let me put it here, and you're going to press, and you put the place where you are coming from. For instance, Dr. Al-Jassar, Kuwait.
Yes, Kuwait.
Kuwait, for instance.
Yeah.
But what's the name of the city?
Kuwait City.
Okay, so Kuwait City. So immediately it will appear here, and I would like to write something. I'm Professor Al-Jassar. I'm coming from Kuwait City, etc. And this is a very interesting tool to use with students. I use it right now because we are in a conference. I use the map, but there are lots of different ways of using. I use it as a mural, as a wall, so the students can work, for instance, at home, and they share here on the wall all the things, all the thoughts that we're going to talk about the theme. For instance, you're going to talk about linear algebra or something. I will give some exercises, and they will share all the knowledge that they have connected to that theme. For instance, I use the map because we are in the conference, but I usually use it as a wall, a normal wall. For instance, I'm Salwa, Al-Jassar, right?
Yes.
I'm an investigator and teacher in Kuwait City. My email is blah, 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 blah. Okay, so for instance, I would like that each one of you will post something like this. And you can see, oh my God, we have international public schools, thanks for invitation. So you see, at the moment that you are sharing, I start to pop up here, and I see Urdu from Turkey, Samsung, for instance, Kuwait. I put mine, of course. I'm Pedro Tadeu from Portugal. I'm a mathematics teacher, investigation director of studies, Center of Studies, etc. Blah blah. I forgot to put here my email because I would like to receive some information from all of you. You see, so we start, and you can put here, for instance, Bureshikir, Okena, Melisi Campus. Interesting. That university, I don't know. I know Met University, Trabzon University, Samsung University, Sakarya University, Izmir Economics University, Marmara University, you name it. I know a lot of universities in Turkey, and I work a lot in Turkey with a lot of universities in different projects. So I would like you, because you already have the link, to put here, and we can have a map with the people and the places that we are coming from. Okay, so Padlet is a very interesting tool. And to finish my presentation, unfortunately, I'm going to finish, and I'm sorry because I'm taking too long. Okay, just to finish, there is a lot of different tools that I would like to share with all the people. But why are you using these tools? We use these tools because we want to communicate ideas, oral and written. This is even more important on the next century, and 21st century for sure. It's the next one that we are living, and the communicate ideas, it's very, very important. Make research activities, use online resource to deepen share. Collaboration, this is one of the most important things that our students and we teachers and investigators, educators need to do. It's collaboration. Create and share content via CMS. Use platforms for editing and creating documents. Use gamification like Kahoot, for instance, to deepen the knowledge. Raise the critical thinking. In my opinion, the critical thinking is one of the most important things, because our students and humankind is losing the critical thinking. And critical thinking is very, very important. It's not only mathematics, it's important in all subjects. So the education in 21st century, it's something that we need to think. So I let you this video, and I would like you to try to have this video and try to see this video, because it's very, very, very interesting. And I can give you an interesting thing here, because I will put you, because I'm able to put it in Turkish. So let's come here and share. This is the Portuguese Vodafone. They are trying to, how do you going to, it's in Turkish, publicity for sure.
For society to work, we need all sorts of disciplines and types of skills. What skills do you think will be most important for our kids to learn for the future?
The skills you need for work, for learning, and for citizenship in the 21st century have converged. They are the same skills. You know, lots of people make different lists, but I think it comes down to just a few things. All students are going to need to learn how to think critically. And what that means from my previous research is that students need to know how to ask really good questions. In today's world, being able to ask good questions is much more important than memorizing easy answers. The second skill they need is the ability to collaborate. Increasingly, all work is done collaboratively. The third skill that's important are good communication skills, both oral and written communication, but also the ability to listen. Finally, students need to be creative problem solvers. You know,
creativity, critical thinking, communication, collaborating. This is one of the most important things. Also, in my opinion, this is the most important things that you need to have. This is the things that will drive you to the future, that will drive you to a better way of educating our students. So let me finish. And
dear Pedro, thank you very much for
just the final words, Professor Salih. Education
thank you
should
too
embrace
much.
the changes,
Really,
and take advantage of this.
We need actually more time.
Let's turn the light together. Teşekkür ederim.
Yeah, çok teşekkür ederiz. Actually, Turkish educators know you, your contribution. Thank you very much for your contribution, all Turkish academicians.
Thank you, Professor Salwa.
As
It
far
was a
as I
pleasure.
know, they know
Professor
you.
Adnan Baki is here, for instance. I was in
Especially
Trabzon. I was
Adnan
seeing
Baki
his
know
face
you very
right
well.
now. Yeah, hello, Professor Adnan Baki. Everything okay with you? Long time no see you.
Are you seeing me?
Yes, we are seeing you.
Pedro, how are you, my
I'm
friend?
fine, thank you. And you, everything okay with you?
Thank
All
you very
this
much.
fuss and this confusion.
We listened to your presentation. I am very appreciated to hear from you. Actually, I would like to share my real experience on online teaching experience. Your presentation, you mentioned and introduced many opportunities of ICT for education, for future education. But right now, I am teaching, let's say, mathematical courses through online, through digital applications. But actually, I am not happy with what I am doing now with this technology. You know, while carrying out mathematical operations with a blackboard of the ICT applications is not sufficient enough to present all steps. Actually, I want to think with my student while carrying out mathematical operations step by step, but I am not achieving this, you know. Actually, we are using Adobe Connect or Teams, but they are not sufficient enough to, you know, what I am to try to do.
I understand perfectly, Professor Adnan, what you're talking about. I understand that.
Yeah. I think we are optimistic about future education while using this technology, but mixed application may be very useful in the next. I hope we will reach to the normal days and we will try our best.
I don't know. I'm not confident on normal days anymore. I think that unfortunately the world needs to pay attention to the changes that we have during the last month and think that education should go, and that's my humble opinion. I think education will go for a B-learning, a blended learning, should be a mix. Because
exactly.
I don't trust, like Professor Adnan was talking about, I don't trust that online will be enough. No, online is completely confusing. You don't have the socialization that you always need to have with the students, because if you are a teacher, you need to socialize, you need to talk with the students. They need to feel you. They need to see your face. They need to see the body movements, because it's very important. I'm a teacher that always walk inside of the classroom. I never stop, for instance. And for me to be behind of the screen, it's horrible. It's completely horrible because I hate it. But the teacher, it's blended learning.
Yeah, actually, we need a new pedagogical strategies.
Different approaches, yes.
These restrictions, you know.
Yes, completely agree on you, Professor Adnan. You need to change this one. You need to see how we're going to change this one. But the world and education need to pay attention, because these times of confinement, these times of closing at home, to doing only online, gives us the necessary understanding that this is not what we really want, the full online. And I predict that the future will have a blended learning. You'll have 1 week, for instance, online, then there are some jobs, some tasks that the students could perform at home. And the next week, you need to be present on the classroom. You need to discuss the ideas with the students. And this mix of blended learning, online and presential, I think that one will come to stay. Not the online, but the blended learning, the B-learning will come to stay.
Program bitti, program tamam. Diğerleri giremiyor programa. Thank you very so much.
Okay.
I hope,
Thank you. Teşekkür ederim.
In future, I will invite two of you to Turkey, third or fourth international conference, our conference. You will give the face by face your all the conferences, and this time maybe you will stay with us 1 or 2 nights, and our colleagues will come and ask you many questions for their PhD thesis or other thesis.
Yes, it will be great.
In future, really, I am waiting, and I will invite you to Turkey.
Teşekkür
I
ederim.
am very happy to see you in Turkey. Nice to meet you again. Thank you so much. Bye. Do you want to say
Thank you so
more
much.
things?
Bye, Pedro.
Professor Adnan, it was a pleasure to see you again. Thank you very much,
thank
Professor
Bye,
Salwa.
Salwa.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's so
Professor
glad
Salwa.
to
Professor
Yes.
Salwa, it's also a
It is
pleasure
my
to meet
pleasure.
you.
It is my
We
Thank you
need
so
to
much.
have the emails of us, and we to exchange some emails. It will be interesting to have
Yes,
future
yes,
cooperation. Okay?
And I'm looking to see you all of you in Kuwait, inshallah, coming. Maybe next
Inshallah.
time we make it.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you, Professor
very
Saad.
much.
Bye.
Stay healthy. Stay healthy.
Yes,
Especially
yeah.
stay healthy. Health for
Healthy
everyone.
and safe. Yes.
Health for
Thank you so
everyone.
much. Thank you.
Bye. Güle güle. Güle güle.
Güle güle.